Give us a few minutes and we're going to tell you about Tullamore DEW Irish Whiskey. Hello, fellow whiskey lovers. Welcome to the first Ambassador Talk with Jane Maher. Hello, Jane.
Hello, how are you?
Thank you so much for being here.
I'm delighted to be here.
Especially with the weather.
Oh my God, I barely made it.
At least we're inside this beautiful space. We're at the Queen Anne Beer Hall in Seattle. We're going to taste through the entire collection of Tullamore DEW Irish Whiskey today. We're going to start with Jane, Western United States Ambassador for Tullamore DEW, and the Tullamore DEW Original. How do we refer to this?
Yeah, this is probably, if you want to call it, the flagship of our range. It's by far kind of what most people know when we talk about Tullamore DEW. It is a triple blend of Irish whiskey, which is really, really important because when we look at Irish whiskey as a whole, what makes each one different is how they use the different varieties of whiskey that are made in Ireland. So this is a triple blend, as I said. We use grain, malt and pot still whiskey here.
Ah, beautiful.
They are the three styles of whiskey that are made in Ireland, and I like to say they're expertly blended here. It's finished in bourbon and sherry cask, matured in bourbon, finished in sherry.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, for 4 to 7 years. So
I was going to say, I don't see an age statement here, but...
Right, yeah, depending on the style of whiskey, whether we're talking about grain whiskey, malt whiskey, or pot still whiskey, each of those elements are matured a little bit differently, and then we blend them together to give us this final liquid.
Beautiful. We're going to talk about it in a podcast in just a few minutes as well, but can you tell us what the DEW stands for?
Yeah, it's really, really interesting, and often blows people away when I inform them that it's the initials of one of the great distillers of Tullamore. His name was Daniel Edmund Williams. So in fact, you see his signature at the top of the bottle there.
And I'm guessing this is his photo here.
That's him there. That's his profile picture, yeah.
I see he's losing his hair just like I am.
Yeah, I like to call him Ireland's original hipster.
Oh, beautiful.
He was a really cool guy, around Tullamore in the late 1800s. And he really put his stamp, quite literally, on the distillery and brought it to a whole new level, really, when we look at the history of Irish whiskey. And we credit him on every bottle of Tullamore DEW today with his initials, which is quite cool.
Beautiful. So Daniel Edmund Williams.
Correct.
At Tullamore, from the town of Tullamore.
Yes. Tullamore is a town in Ireland. I suppose in Ireland it's a medium-sized town, but it has a population of about 15,000 people. So it's no Seattle or LA, that's for sure. But yeah, right in the heart of Ireland, literally when you look at the map, it makes up the heart of Ireland, and it is in the county of Offaly. So it's about an hour or so west of Dublin.
Right. And is it easy to visit if I choose to go to Dublin? Can I head out to the distillery?
It is indeed, yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
There are many routes to Tullamore. All roads lead to Tullamore, some might say. Yeah, and you can take train from Dublin. It's very, very accessible. It's only about an hour.
Beauty.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty. Let's taste some whiskey.
Let's taste it.
All right, beautiful. So, Tullamore DEW, Tullamore DEW, and here it is,
yeah.
As I look at it in the glass, what should I be seeing? I heard a combination of both bourbon and sherry, so I expect to see a little amber.
Right.
And it is there.
We refer to it, as a nice golden caramel color.
Sure.
And you're always looking at the hint of golden, as you're just saying, and that changes, as we move through the range. We see a little difference in terms of the color.
Right.
And then on the nose, I can smell it already, even though I've got quite a bit away from me. And it really is beautiful. It's a nice
heather and honey.
Heather and honey. There you go.
Yeah.
I was going to say a sweetness, a light vanilla note coming from the bourbon cask that we've used.
Right.
And it's also got quite a lot of fruitiness for me. Green apple.
I get almost fermented raspberries.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
It depends, and these have just been poured.
Right.
I love to leave it stand for a while, actually. I always find it so interesting when you...
I'm not going to be able to stare at it for very long. Okay, good, yeah.
when you first pour and you nose and then you leave it stand and literally so it's static and then return to it, I find that the aroma changes quite dramatically, actually, when it's exposed to the
and I'm guessing different glassware as well. We've got it in the rocks glass, which makes it very easy,
100%.
But if we went into a Glencairn or other tulip shape,
right, we're getting different aromas on it as well, yeah. But we should probably taste and raise a toast.
Oh, brilliant.
My favourite toast when it comes to the original, let's be happy, let's be loud, pour a glass of Tullamore DEW and make Ireland proud.
That sounds great to me. Cheers, Jane.
Cheers. beautiful. So as I like to refer to it, nice and delicate, but yet it's got a complex finish to it. We feel the three elements of the whiskey hit the palate in three different areas.
Yeah.
So like the grain whiskey, grain by its nature is quite a sweet liquid. So you get that at the front of the tongue.
Indeed.
And then maltiness brings out that fruity element that I referred to a moment ago. You kind of get that in the middle of the palate. And then finally the pot still element, really, really important for Irish whiskey.
Yes.
The pot still whiskey, we get that at the back of the palate. So it's got like a light spicy note. And it's very subtle, but yet it's there.
It's very soft right on the front of the palate. It really kind of hits your mouth very softly and then expands and envelops your entire mouth. And then an easy finish, not too warm, not too spicy, but just a lovely finish.
Right.
What a lovely whiskey.
Yeah, absolutely. And smooth is a word that often is maybe overused when we talk about whiskey, but somehow we just find it difficult to articulate what it is. And we often refer to Tullamore Original as being a very fresh whiskey, but really what we're talking about is the triple distilled.
Is there a cocktail that we should be making with this? Is there a mixer or something that you can see going with this?
One of the great things about Irish whiskey is it is very versatile, and we see that across all Irish whiskies. You know, they can be drank in many, many different ways. But a favourite of ours is an apple dew. Tullamore DEW Original works really, really well with a freshly pressed apple juice. And it's quite an interesting ingredient that should be more popular than it actually is.
Maybe even pair with a cider.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And we talk about a dew and a brew.
Brilliant,
A cider, being an element of that. But the apple dew is really, really great. It's just 1 part Tullamore DEW Original, maybe 2.5, 3 parts, however way you're feeling, of freshly pressed apple juice or whatever apple juice you can get your hands on.
Maybe 2 or 3 parts Tullamore DEW and then a splash of apple.
You know how we roll.
Depends on which night of the week it is, I suppose.
Exactly. Well, we're at Friday now. So
brilliant. Yeah.
Lots of ice in there, and maybe just a lemon wedge for garnish. Maybe a little dash of bitters if you're feeling very adventurous. And it's just the most delicious, refreshing cocktail.
I love it.
Quite honest, it's amazing. Yeah, love it.
Jane Maher, Western United States Ambassador for Tullamore DEW. Thank you to the Queen Anne Beer Hall here in Seattle, Washington, for letting us invade their space and get in their way before they're trying to open here with Tullamore DEW. Be sure to watch the rest of the series with me, Ari, the Whiskey Guy. Click that like button and pour another dram while you check out more Whisky Guy videos. And don't forget to subscribe to the Whisky Guy podcast. You can support the Whisky Guy by checking out my Patreon campaign and get the perfect gift for the whiskey lover in your life in the Whisky Guy store.